Kris Grahnke. I have ALS. I was diagnosed when I was 27. I'm now 28. And ALS sucks. You know, ALS, or getting a terminal illness, definitely throws off your 5-year plan, as everybody talks about. This is where I want to be in 5 years. This is where I want to be in 3 and 10. I'm going to have a boat and a second home. You know, we, after getting married, you know, we want to have kids, settle down. The day-to-day things that people, like, I don't think, ever think of, or, like, be like, man, you know, like, I would kill a guy right now if I got to go and mow my yard. And other people would be like, God, I don't want to go home and mow my yard. That's terrible. But, like,
what you want?
Just do whatever I want to do, man. Go down some stairs. My name is Kris Grahnke. I'm 30 years old. I am a special ed teacher by trade. I'm married with a wife that is way too hot for me. I have a dog named Wrigley, even though I'm a White Sox fan, and I have ALS. Michelle, my wife, and I got married in August of 2013, and at the time I was like a really active guy. I ran every day, I lifted, played sports, and about 6 months later, after we'd been married, it was like January, I was like tripping on my foot when I was running, which I thought was really odd. And then during the winter months, I slipped quite a bit and fell and kind of busted my stuff. And I also thought that was an odd thing for somebody of my age to be doing. So then in March, finally, after many slips, many falls, I went to see a doctor, and that doctor had no idea why I'd be acting that way, so he sent me to a neurologist, and that neurologist that day, after seeing me for like 3 minutes, just said, yo, you have ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. There's no cure, and you're essentially screwed. It was really bad bedside manner, and that led to months and months of second opinions with doctors, blood work, CAT scans, MCATs, EKGs, whatever acronym you want to use, to try and eliminate ALS, because obviously that's not something a doctor wants to tell you you have. But after doing test after test and all of those things, it became clear that it was, in fact, ALS. After I was diagnosed with ALS, I came to know the folks at the Greater Chicago chapter of ALS-A, which is a awesome nationwide ALS Advocacy Foundation, and they thought I would be a great person to go to Washington, D.C. for the weekend where people all across the country with ALS come to D.C. and stomp up to Congress and make sure our needs are being met, that legislation's being passed and kept up on that provides necessary funding for treatment, research, as well as technology that is greatly needed for individuals with ALS to live and fulfill, you know, a high quality of life. I went to DC 2 years ago, and then this past May, I followed up again and went and saw many of the same legislators and made sure my message was heard again, if not way more clear this time around, because I'd done it once before. I wasn't as nervous, and I really made sure my voice got heard. This is a grueling and devastating disease by all means. I mean, it starts in different ways with different people. For me, I lost control of my legs first, and then my arms, and then my core. Other people with ALS lose their ability to speak and to swallow right off the bat. But at the end of the day, it will take everybody's ability to eat, swallow, breathe, function in any way, shape, or form. So there is no cure. It does super suck. There's no way around that. However, with ALS, I wake up every day, and though I am not capable to do the things I used to, like run or lift or even feed myself, I've found ways to really value every day I've got here. I make it a point to really dive into the relationships I have with friends and family. The more that I communicate with others, for one, I stay super busy. Two, it's opened the doors for many opportunities, like going to DC or going and meeting the 2005 World Series champs, the White Sox. You just gotta make a conscious effort every day to realize you can still binge watch Netflix. You still have friends all around you that, can hang out with. A couple of years ago, we started fundraising for the Rockford Walk to defeat ALS. Out here, and doing so, a friend of mine had been reading my blog, which I started fairly early on in the diagnosis of having ALS. My wife knew that when I would get really frustrated and mad, that writing was a great outlet for me. So after, mulling that idea over, I really got on board with that and started a blog, and everything that pissed me off, made me happy, made me sad, I just put to print and put down and into a blog and posted it.
I'll be the voice saying you're gonna make it. When you're out there on your own, you are never alone. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep letting your light shine. 'Cause I'm never gonna leave you, always gonna see you through to the other side. Keep fighting the good, fighting the good, fighting the good fight, good fight. Just keep on singing and keep on dancing. And joy will be your banner, and my love will be your anthem. And you may never know what your tomorrow holds, but you can know that I am holding your tomorrow. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep letting your light shine, yeah. Keep fighting the good fight.
My friends created the nickname Grahnke's Grace for our fundraising efforts in this walk to defeat ALS. And in doing so, Grahnke's Grace name got bigger and bigger, and then we started to refer to ourselves as the Grahnke's Grace Squad, and then we'd get even more people on board, and then we became the Grahnke Army. And now with the blog, with our fundraising efforts, with the Grahnke website and Twitter handle and Facebook page, it just turned into quite a monster in a good way, where we are able to reach out to others with ALS all around the country and help them connect with resources they might not have had prior to reading the blog and knowing what was out there. I've been blessed in the fact that all the newest technology that's out there, I've made it a point to figure out how to make it mine or work for me. Like I said, I've made it a point to reach out to the Greater Chicago chapter of ALSA and make them work for me, because that's really what they're there for. In doing so, they got me a interactive eye gaze computer. So I essentially have a Microsoft Surface that I control solely with my eyes. So I run my Twitter page, Facebook, blog, website, creator, all of that on a daily basis with my eyes. I also update a very good fantasy football team with my eyes on a daily basis. Scan the internet for, sports, news. I can text with my eyes. I can answer phone calls with my eyes. Pretty much anything you can do on a smartphone, I do with my eyeballs. I also have the opportunity to now control my entire wheelchair with a head array system. So even though my arms don't work and I can't click on anything or use a joystick the way I used to be able to, now I can drive with simple back and forth taps. I can engage my tilt feature with my chair with the tap of a button on my chin. It's allowed me to regain my independence, even though all I can really move is my neck and my mouth. For me personally, the only reason I'm able to have the attitude I have and the drive I have is knowing that I've got a faith built strongly in Christianity, and that everything I've lost, I'm going to get back when I go to heaven at the end of this. So being able to bench press 100 pounds, lift, jump, run, swim, I'm going to do all that again, knowing that I'm able to do that in the future makes me know that all this crap and annoying and devastating part of this disease is only temporary, and it's not going to define me. Now, I know that not everybody thinks this way or hasn't built that kind of relationship with God or feels that comfortable with religion, but from a non-religious standpoint right now, ALS researchers, technicians, advocates, legislators, everybody that gets shit done in this country are young and more motivated than I've ever seen. So the technology that's out there for others with ALS and the associations and groups that are out there to support one another are bigger and better than they've ever been. So even if you feel isolated and alone in this disease, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people and groups and accommodations for you to lean into and make your quality of life better. So, you know, before I had this disease, I never would have thought how much I take for granted. Being able to walk out and get the mail, or mow the lawn, or wipe my own ass. Like, things you never think about. Easy little things every day. Flipping the channel, scrolling through your iPhone, and hitting a like on a bunch of crap on Facebook. None of those things people with ALS can't do anymore. So, you know, anytime I experience anything that somebody without a disability of this kind experiences, I really make sure I, you know, suck that in and reflect on it and thank God that I get to experience it.
Cool.
And keep burping up frozen pizza. Michelle was like, don't get tummy ache. And I was like, frozen pizza in the morning.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, can you let this shithead outside? Thanks to Lindor, the Indians got a free taco from Taco Bell on November 2nd, cashing in on that. And the best part is Rick Ross is a co-owner of Wingstop. After I found that, I was like, oh, Rick Ross. If he's a part of this, it has to be. It's just,